The interview with Lisa Ramirez took place in their living room on a crisp, sunny afternoon. California and Sue sat side by side on the couch, Macaulay's framed digital photo album of the three of them playing on the coffee table between them, and the room was filled with a quiet, hopeful energy. California could feel Sue's hand resting on her knee, a comforting presence that steadied her nerves. They'd come a long way. But the significance of this interview wasn't lost on her. Lisa sat across from them, her notepad in hand, her expression both professional and warm. She began with some basic questions, gently asking about their backgrounds, their relationship, and what had led them to make the decision to foster Macaulay. California felt herself relax as they shared their journey, meeting each other, finding strength together, and ultimately choosing to create a family with Macaulay. And what would you say is your guiding principle in wanting to foster him? Lisa asked, looking at them with a keen, attentive gaze. Sue leaned forward, her voice steady and full of conviction. We want him to feel safe, loved, and accepted no matter what. We want him to know he has a family who cares about him, that he'll never have to question whether he belongs. That's everything to us. Lisa nodded, jotting down notes, a small smile touching her lips. You two have certainly built a wonderful home here, and it's clear Macaulay has a special place in it. He's very lucky to have found you. Then, as California knew it would, the conversation turned to her own history. Lisa looked up, her voice softening. California, I know that you've been through some tough times yourself. There's a note here from your medical records about an incident last year, a hospitalization related to substance use. Would you be willing to talk about that? California felt a pang of anxiety, but met Lisa's gaze with quiet resolve. It's true. I had a rough time, and I went through a treatment program. But that was a turning point for me, and with the help of people like Father Trevors and Sue, I worked my way back. I haven't touched anything since. I'm committed to my recovery and to creating a safe, stable home for Macaulay. Lisa nodded thoughtfully, her eyes filled with understanding. Thank you for sharing that, California. It's important to know you've addressed those challenges. With the support of Father Trevors and the medical evaluations we've discussed, I believe we can present a strong case for your stability. Your commitment to Macaulay is evident, and I'll be sure to include that in my report. The interview continued with ease, covering everything from their views on discipline to their plans for Macaulay's education and future. By the end, the warmth in Lisa's smile had grown, and California felt her own heart lightening with a cautious optimism. I'll be honest with you, Lisa said, closing her notebook and meeting their eyes. I'm very hopeful about your case. Macaulay is in good hands, and with all the love and stability you're providing, I have no doubt he's where he's meant to be. They thanked Lisa warmly, feeling a quiet sense of triumph as they walked her to the door, exchanging a few final pleasantries before she left. As soon as she was gone, they looked at each other, a shared happiness settling between them. California felt a surge of excitement. We did it, she whispered, a grin spreading across her face. Come on, Sue said, laughing. Let's go get Macaulay from school. They picked him up, and as they returned home, Sue suggested taking a picture together to commemorate the day. They gathered in the front yard, Macaulay standing between them, California's hand resting on his shoulder and Sue's arm around California. They were grinning, their faces bright with happiness, and California snapped the photo. Later that evening, Sue posted the picture on social media with a simple, heartfelt caption. Our family is growing. Feeling so grateful to have Macaulay in our lives. Within hours, the post began to gain traction. At first, the comments were overwhelmingly positive. Friends, family, and strangers alike expressing joy and congratulations. The outpouring of support was touching, filling California and Sue with even more hope and happiness. But as the days passed, the attention grew beyond their small circle. The post went viral, and soon their social media was flooded with messages from people all over. Many were heartfelt, praising them for their kindness, but slowly, the tone began to shift. A few comments expressed discomfort about the couple's relationship, veiled with words that hid their homophobia behind passive language. Then came the outright negativity, messages questioning their capability to raise a child as a same-sex couple, warning that it was unnatural or confusing for the boy. California read the comments with a clenched jaw, her heart sinking at the hurtful words. Sue tried to shrug it off, but as the days went on, the comments turned even more pointed. A few people questioned the ethics of a white couple fostering a Native American child, insisting that Macaulay should remain within his own community and culture, that it was wrong for him to be raised outside his heritage. One comment read, "A white family raising a Native child? This is wrong on so many levels. He needs to be with his own people, not taken in by strangers who can't understand where he comes from." Sue's face fell as she read the messages, a troubled look in her eyes. "I just wanted to share our happiness," she said quietly. I didn't think it would turn into this." California wrapped an arm around her, feeling a surge of protective anger. "People are going to talk, Sue. They'll always have opinions. But we know the truth, and so does Macaulay." Just as they were settling in that evening, there was a knock at the door. They exchanged a wary glance, neither of them expecting anyone. California got up and peeked through the peephole, and her heart sank as she saw a man with a notepad and a recording device in hand, a reporter. She turned back to Sue, her voice tense. "It's a reporter." Sue's eyes widened, and she bit her lip. Do you think we should talk to him?" They exchanged a long, uncertain look. The idea of speaking publicly, of trying to defend their family to strangers, felt overwhelming. But they also knew that their story was already out there, and they couldn't hide from it forever. Maybe we should hear what he has to say," California murmured, her voice filled with a mix of determination and doubt. Sue took her hand, giving it a reassuring squeeze. "Whatever we decide, we're in this together." They stood by the door, the weight of their choice settling over them as they prepared to face whatever came next.